And Nancy Cordes, good enough to stick around, join us from Washington. So Nancy, as we look ahead to what is, by any measure, perhaps the most anticipated political event in recent memory, we know Hillary Clinton is well versed on policy. I suppose the question then is one in two parts. How much will that actually matter come Monday night? And what then might be the biggest pitfall that she faces?
Well, the question for her is how much of this debate is going to be about policy and how much of it will be a back and forth between herself and Donald Trump on other issues. The Clinton campaign believes that policy is her strength, so they'd like to spend a lot of time talking about that. But they're also preparing, for example, for her to call Trump out if they believe that he stretches the truth on, let's say, his positions at the start of the war in Iraq or at the start of the Libyan invasion. And so that eats up a lot of time if you're calling your opponent out. There's also a chance that some of this could end up devolving into, let's say, more personal attacks. We certainly saw that on the stage quite a bit at the GOP debates. And let's face it, the Democratic debates weren't always a walk in the park either. Hillary Clinton at some points accused her opponent Bernie Sanders of artful smears, and there was a lot of tension in those debates as well. So the question is, what kind of confrontation are we going to see on Monday night? And
so we have these reports from the Clinton camp that suggest that she is preparing for multiple Donald Trumps. Obviously, a part of that is essentially to start baking the cake for any perhaps of those who are undecided that there are multiple Donald Trumps. But how specifically does she plan to attack them?
Well, there's a lot of expectation setting going on here, Josh, already. You've got the Clinton campaign saying, look, we're really worried that Donald Trump is going to be held to a different standard than Hillary Clinton is. People assume that she knows her policy. People assume that she has a detailed platform specifics at her fingertips. People don't assume that about Donald Trump, and they don't expect it. And so if he even comes across as halfway presidential, they say it's going to be declared a win for him. On the other hand, you've got Republicans making the opposite case about Hillary Clinton. They say, look, she has done this so often. She has gone head to head with so many people, both in 2008 and in this last campaign, that she needs to have a near flawless performance because she's just got so much more experience than Donald Trump does.
And so as she then looks ahead to this weekend where it's expected she will participate in at least one mock debate, sources close to any CBS News employee can confirm that Nancy Cordes is all over this story. So to the best of your knowledge and relentless and tireless reporting, Nancy, who will she be looking at the other lectern this weekend?
Sadly, I know a lot more about who's not going to be playing the role of Donald Trump than who is going to be playing the role of Donald Trump. You know, we have asked about everyone from New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to New York Senator Chuck Schumer to House members like Chris Van Hollen and Bill Pascrell and, any number of people who have either done debate prep in the past or are New Yorkers who can kind of sort of step into that sort of Trump persona. And so far, we have managed to rule a lot of people out. I can tell you that there were a number of people who actually were interested in playing this role and raised their hands and said, pick me, pick me. But the fact that we still haven't been able to figure out who it is who is playing Donald Trump in debate prep says that, we must be missing someone who's right in front of our noses.
All right. So no Vice President Joe Biden?
Correct. Vice President Joe Biden not involved.
No renegade billionaire Mark Cuban?
No Mark Cuban. No Michael Bloomberg.
Okay. No Alec Baldwin?
No Alec Baldwin.
All right, I can confirm.
No, and no Kevin Spacey. Some people said, he plays a politician in House of Cards. Maybe he could do it here. Nope, it's not him. It's not Louis Black. It's not Jon Stewart. It's not. In fact, I'm told it's not a comedian at all. It's not somebody who works in comedy. We thought maybe someone like Senator Al Franken, who has been a comedian, is now a senator from Minnesota. Perhaps he could step into that role because he knows his policy. But he also can sort of probably get Trumpy if he wants to, and it's not him either.
Okay, sources close to me can confirm that it's not me either. Nancy, cross me.
You would be excellent. That could be a slight conflict of interest, but you would be fantastic.
Cross me on the list. All right, Nancy Cordes, I release you both to raise children and chase this story down to the end of time. We do appreciate it.
I'll be back with an update in a few hours,
All right.
Josh.